Hey everybody, it's time for Healing with the Blues. Healing with the Blues. That's right, I'm healing with the blues. There's nothing left for me. I'm healing with the blues. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm glad to be healing with the blues because blues is a healer, as we know, and there's nothing that cannot be healed. I'm so grateful that you're here and that you're watching. If you are, that's great. I'm looking forward to talking with you and you actually, interact. So let's hope that that's what's happening here for everybody today. We're going to talk today about the cost of staying stuck in our stuff. It's not easy to take on a lot of things that are happening in the world right now. So there's no reason why we have to keep making um, our lives have to revolve around negative things. But we also want to move forward. We want to move forward in our lives so that we can have the life that we really want. But what happens when we stay stuck? There's many things that happen when we stay stuck. And I want to share that with you today of what we're really talking about when we say staying stuck. Staying stuck in our stuff. Really feeling like there's we only have, the same stories that we tell each time. So I want you to allow yourself to just go with me on this little journey here and close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let go of holding your body. Just let it go. Let your stomach sag. Let your arms relax and be heavy. And take another breath and let the weight of your body sink down toward your chair as you exhale. Just let that happen. Now, I want you to imagine or remember a time when you lost something. Maybe it was a job, maybe a home, a loved one, someone passed away. Maybe it was the loss of your innocence. Could have been a relationship. You don't have to go deeply into it. I just want you to remember this time in your life. But I want you to see yourself in this scene. What is around you? Are you inside or outside? Who is nearby? What colors are around you? What textures? Are there smells associated with this memory? And now let's turn to your feelings. What are you feeling in this moment? See yourself in this scene and notice how you're feeling in this scene where you have lost something. Something has gone away. Maybe you're feeling sadness, grief, loss, anxiety, depression, fear, maybe frustration or worry, maybe regret. These are all feelings that we have with loss. Now imagine if you were told you had to stay in that feeling forever. Never be happy again, never enjoy life, always be remembering the loss every moment of every day. How could you get anything done? How could you get yourself going even for the simplest task? But this is what happens when we subvert our feelings. They're always there under the surface. And then it becomes a pattern that your body and you do over and over again. Every day, every relationship, every job, every accomplishment becomes colored with this loss that became a subconscious pattern. Because that's what happens when we don't allow ourselves to acknowledge our feelings. It gets subverted, it gets pushed away. We want to avoid feeling that feeling at all costs. And this is the cost. No happiness, no joy, maybe for a little bit, but then it comes back again, this dull, flat feeling. And it feels overwhelming and it feels like you're stuck. No wonder it feels like you're stuck because underneath the stuckness is this feeling of grief and loss. So when I talk about grief as a doorway to deeper healing, we're just getting to the tip of the iceberg when we're talking about the actual grief, but the underneath grief, the stuff that's underneath that, that's keeping you stuck in that, that's the stuff that needs to be expressed. Those are the feelings that need to be acknowledged and expressed. I was working with someone and they're talking about how they cannot get over the death of their father that happened 20 years ago. This person was the most important person in their life that supported them, that loved them unconditionally. No matter what, this person was there. The father was there. And getting over that death made everything else difficult because it was never just seen as another thing that happened. It was always just, I can't be happy again, being stuck in that. So acknowledging those feelings, sometimes it's just acknowledging that you feel stuck and then going deeper to see what's underneath that. It's hard to be vulnerable and open with people because you already feel like an open wound, but it's all subconscious. Does that sound like you or someone you know? So it makes things overwhelming because we're still dealing with stuff that's not being dealt with. We're still having to carry it around. So that's why when we start looking at it and we allow ourselves to really deal with it, our burden becomes lighter. I tell you, every time I work with people, they say, I feel so much lighter. And it's because we're acknowledging, honoring, and owning the feelings that have been stuck in there. And sometimes those feelings are negative, right? Negative feelings bring us down, positive feelings raise us up. If you can't get raised up, there's a reason. There's a negative feeling that's going on that isn't being dealt with, that's not being acknowledged. So avoiding looking at those feelings is not helping you. Avoiding looking at those feelings is actually causing more problems. So we want to make sure that we're not avoiding the feelings because that's what keeps it going. So I want you to remember that avoiding looking at each circumstance and saying it's because of other people or fate or just another way of avoiding what's really happening for your life. It's not anyone else's life, it's yours. This is the cost of staying stuck in your stuff. This is the cost. And here's the fear factor. If I want my life to go better and I have to walk through it, what will I find? How will I handle it? What if I can't handle all the stuff that comes out? It's a real fear. I don't know what I'm hiding in there. Maybe it's something that's going to, really cause a problem for me. But that's why it's important to have someone walk alongside to hold space for you to do the healing that you need to do. And holding that space is just simply being there and saying, yes, I'm going to wrap you in protection and protective energy. I'm going to allow you to have this experience and know that I'm right here with you. And you don't have to avoid anything because it's okay for you to feel upset. It's okay for you to cry. Are you ready for that? It means that you have to have someone show you what tricks you're using to continue to avoid. That's what a good um, person does, a coach, a mentor, a healer does, is they keep you honest because you'll do all the tricks to avoid. I know, I've done them too. We want to avoid, and it's okay. We know that it's hard. Walking through the valley of the shadow of death can be very difficult, but it's really important for you to walk through it and come out the other end, not pitch a tent and live there. You've heard me say that many times, I'm sure. What would it feel like if you had proper boundaries that support your true beliefs? What would it feel like to be confident and know your true self and love yourself? What would that feel like? That's why I'm offering the 7-month path to joyful purpose. Yeah, there's actually a program that we have that people go through and realize that they can actually be their own cheerleader, or they can enlist people to be their cheerleader that support them, and they can recognize them because they're not allowing other people in their life that hurt them. And they're doing that because they're clearing up all of this old information that's stuck in their system. And it's really that simple. In that program, we do one on one healing, and we also do some group training that you can watch over and over again anytime, and allow yourself to really get into each chakra. So we're basing it on the chakra system right there. That's the skeleton, right? And in front of that spine are the chakras right here. So each chakra has its own characteristics, things that it does that helps you. Their chakra means wheel, it's a wheel of energy. And when I do an intuitive energy scan, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at those chakras to see what's the story that you're holding in each chakra. So when we look at root chakra, for instance, that's being able to be physical and here on earth, feeling good in your body. Your level of self-esteem is in root chakra. Now, all the chakras have aspects of the other chakras, but this is basic, what root chakra does. Are you in the right tribe? Are you with the right people? Your people. What's your role in that tribe? What's your role in your family? So I work with a lot of people who feel like the black sheep of the family because those are the people that want the help. So if you're feeling like that's you, feel free to get in touch with me. You can send me a note. You can message me on Facebook, Tanya R. English. You can go to Quantum Healing International and message me there. You can also send me an email at drtanyeenglish, Dr. Tanya English, at quantumhealinginternational.com, or if you want a shorter version, drtanyaenglish@gmail.com. It's really important for us to remember that unless we do something uncomfortable, we're going to stay stuck in our stuff. And the stories that don't work, the places that we don't want to go, that are keeping us stuck in our stuff. So we can't move forward unless you're willing to really face those things. And it's not as scary as you might think. It actually is pretty easy because we don't say, okay, I want you to think about this terrible time that happened. And we want to go deeply into it and we want to go through every single detail of what happened. We don't need to do that. That's not what we need to do in healing. We need to do like what we did today. Think of the time that happened. What are you feeling? What are the feelings? It's so simple. But people have been taught not to feel their feelings or not even to acknowledge that they have feelings. So if that's been you and you're ready to look at your feelings and actually let them happen, knowing that I won't allow your molecules to all fly apart, it's not going to happen. A lot of people feel like they might explode or they're going to be like a volcano or they're going to melt down, and none of that happens. What happens? You might cry. And crying is cleansing. And it's really good for you because after you feel really good. So just know it's okay. You don't have to fear what's going to happen. You can actually really embrace it and allow yourself to take these feelings that you've been avoiding and go through them and let them go. Because the first step to releasing this tension and this oppression and this depression is to acknowledge, own, and honor your feelings. And it doesn't matter if they're negative or positive. They're your feelings. Remember, your feelings are kind of like, I'm saying remember, maybe you've never heard this before, but it's true. Your feelings are a barometer. It's just like the fuel gauge on the car. When it gets near empty, you go get more fuel, right? Well, the same thing happens with you. If you have persistent negative thoughts, you need to have some more joy in your life. You need to be putting yourself in the way of having more fun, of being happy, of being around people who support you, not people who are draining your energy, people who are supporting you and uplifting you. That's so important. And how do you recognize those people when you're stuck? Well, send them over. Send them over to this YouTube video. It's really, really helpful to know that you're not alone and that there is help for you and you don't have to stay stuck. And that's all that I would love for you to have, is a feeling of there's some help there for me. So when I talk about healing with the blues, it's because the blues healed me. It's because that helped heal me. You know, it's like anytime you have a breakup or something and you listen to a sad song on the radio, it brings it all up so that you can heal it and acknowledge it. That's why we do those things. So let yourself have some healing. Let yourself be free. Take another deep breath. Breathe all the way up into the center of the universe, wherever that is. And as you exhale, let that energy come back down through all layers, all levels, down through all the chakras, down through the center of your body, down through your feet, into the core of the earth, as I say these words in the I am for everyone listening. God is all there is. Love is all there is. Light, life, and source energy is all there is. And I recognize right here and right now that I am one with God, love, light, life, and source energy. I'm never separated from this energy. If I feel separated, I know it's a false feeling. And all I have to do is breathe in, inspiration, and exhale, gratitude. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be able to have this time with people who really want to understand how to get unstuck and know that it's okay to have feelings. I'm grateful that I have feelings. I'm grateful that I have the entire universe of feelings that I can use for my highest good, and allow myself to understand that it's okay to have negative feelings. I'm a human being and I'm allowed to have any feeling I have. I have a right to my feelings. I'm so grateful that children are learning that they have a right to their feelings. I'm so grateful that there are more and more people who are understanding that their feelings are creating their physiology. I'm so grateful that there are more and more people who want to take advantage of the healing that's there for them. And I'm grateful for each and every one who watches, listens to this video, and shares it, because there are more people in the world that need to know that they are not alone and healing is available. I'm grateful to my guides, my guardian angels, my spirit helpers, all those who have passed on before me, cheering me on from behind that thin veil. I'm grateful to those relationships in my life here on the physical plane that are difficult because I'm learning so much from them. Like the relationship with YouTube and the relationship with social media. I'm learning so much. And I'm grateful that I can have a joyful experience in healing as long as I let it happen. I authorize my subconscious to let it be so, to dissolve any constrictions or contractions keeping me from my highest good. I say that it's so and I let it go, knowing that it's already done. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. So I just want to share one other thing with you today. I had a really nice win yesterday when one of my clients who's been suffering for several years with very painful bladder issues told me that she had a week without pain, an entire week. And I count that as a win. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that people want to do this work, because really it's where healing happens. The reason why I do what I do is because I know that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So I'm going to go right to the spirit, right to that energy that is us, that is also connected with source energy, and ask it, what's going on here? What do we need to know so that this person can heal? That's what we're doing. I hope that you join me sometime and get some healing, and that you got something from this video. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Much love. Many blessings. Oh, and that was Lucky running around.